What's up, guys? It's Shiesty, and as you can see, we are on the Lords Mobile Facebook page. And if you scroll down just a little bit here, you can see the most recent post from 45 minutes ago as I record this. And the post reads, "The highly anticipated 4th anniversary update is almost here, and the major addition will be Tier 5 troops, T5 troops." Okay, and then it says, "Here's a sneak peek at this major update." So it mentions look out for this update sometime next week. So gonna be a pretty soon update, which is interesting to say the least. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the picture they gave us with questions on it. Okay, so here's the picture, and I'm gonna go question by question. Question 1 is how strong are T5 troops? And to that it says, well, first off, it states that again the T4 is 36 might per troop, and then the T5 will be 48 might per troop, so that's a 12 might increase. And I don't know if this is an accurate way to look at it, but it's definitely a interesting way to look at it nonetheless. I wonder if you could add that, like if might is a accurate resemblance of how much damage and health and in general productivity, I guess, the troop has. And I assume to a good extent, probably, but I don't know how, like to each little detail, I don't know how accurate it will be. But like, I wonder if you could add 1 T4 plus 1 T2 and maybe 2 T1, which would equal 48 might, right? I wonder if that is equivalent to a T5. And I'm sure it probably isn't to any measure, but it's an interesting way to look at it. And yeah, it's just kind of interesting. It's still hard to wrap my head around the idea of T5. I'm kind of surprised that IGG put it in, but because it's more of like a joke, you know. It's like I can't imagine them putting T5 in. Well, here's the post with it, of course. So definitely surprising. How I look at it though, how I at least want to look at it is, I feel like we can compare it to probably familiars or something. I don't think it's gonna be a full blown game changer. I think it's definitely gonna change a portion of the game, whether for better or worse. It's definitely gonna change a portion of the game, like familiars did. It made trapping harder. It made rallies hit harder, but it didn't change the whole entire game necessarily. Okay, and familiars were a pay to play aspect as well. I think T5 are going to be solely pay to play in that form, where familiars, you know, free to play people still benefit off of them through the passive skills. Especially T5 will definitely be more centered around pay to play, but I doubt it will cost insanely more than familiars. I bet it'll be a reasonable, if you will, a reasonable price, you know. But definitely won't be free to play, I'm assuming, at least. But yeah, that's question 1. Question 2 is how do I get T5 troops? And this is a really interesting area. So it says T4 plus Luminous Gear equals T5, and it has that new symbol next to it, which if you played Lords Mobile, you would know that obviously isn't a gear piece. But that's definitely an interesting just another aspect, I guess, to this update that's just surprising. So not only are they adding a whole new troop, not necessarily type, or not type, but not another tier. They're not, I mean, they are to, of course, an extent for sure, but it's not going to be a whole new section in the barrack. It's going to be a upgrade for the T4, I believe. At least that's how I interpreted it. But yeah, that's definitely interesting that a whole new gear piece. And below, real quick, it says how do I get Luminous Gear, and then they say resources and Lunite equals the gear, of course, which is interesting. And it appears very free to play friendly or simple, and you know, there's no pack involved through their representation here, but I'm sure you're gonna be able to buy a Lunite in packs, and it's probably gonna take a lot of Lunite. But you don't know for sure, because if you go down to question 4, you wouldn't imagine that they'd make you do all that research and build more buildings and stuff to get the Lunite that you would just buy anyways. So maybe their money grab for the Lunite situation is simply in the research. That is very possible. They might have battle tomes or tomes be used for that. It might be a whole new thing that could be similar to Lunite that you have to buy for the research or the buildings. You never know. We're just have to wait for the update to come out for a lot of this. But definitely an interesting concept to run with, And so definitely going to be interesting. But if we go back to question 2, how do I get T5 troops? It shows pretty clearly that you upgrade your T4 with this gear to T5. And if you look in the parentheses, no training time required, which is very interesting. And it makes you wonder, so I'm not for sure, and it's probably not accurate at all, but maybe Lunite is what you have to wait on to upgrade the T5. Like maybe the Luminous Gear is what the T5 wear. So you have to wait for the Lunite to be made, through your buildings or maybe buying it. And then you have to make the gear with a Lunite, and then you put that gear on your tier 4 troops so that they upgrade to tier 5. That's just a concept, that I'm just thinking up. But no background evidence towards that. It's just a thought. But definitely interesting for sure. Then at the bottom they say real quick, we will hold lots of exciting events to help all lords when T5 are released. That doesn't really mean anything necessarily. Maybe free-to-play players will get a little bit of resources or speed ups or something, but probably nothing to count on. But again, very, very interesting. I'll link the post in the description of the video. And yeah, that's it for it for now. I'm looking forward to seeing what this update has to offer, but at the same time, a little eerie about it. It's a little interesting. I wonder just how game-changing it will be. But yeah, comment your thoughts below. Make sure to like the video if you learned something new. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.